It seems like everything is trying to prevent me from doing this video, but I am doing it because I promised you a video every week. And I promised myself. So we're here to really root into ourselves, to say and be authentic, to know our purpose. And in order to do that, we have to be consistent, and we cannot allow the world, the chaos, to continue to control us. So let's get to it. I'm just going to say it. You were not born confused about who you are. None of us come out of the womb unsure. We actually come out very whole, pure. We're loud and we're soft. We're wild, but we're also careful. We're an artist, also a mathematician. All of it. And then piece by piece, maybe moments by moments, somebody or something reaches in and says, this part of you is too much, or this part of you isn't safe here, or I don't feel like dealing with this. So your small little adaptable little nervous system does what it does best. It keeps you safe. You split. That's where you get fragmented. I talk about that a lot. You're not really broken, although it feels that way. You're just split. You're fragmented. There's a difference, and I really want you to hear that difference in your body before we go any further, because this whole video is going to sit different for you once you really root into this. And I want you to know you didn't lose yourself. You were observed out of yourself. And that might sound woo or to quantum physics for a lot of people. I really don't care anymore. What's wrong with being woo anyway? Also, whimsy. Whatever happened to that? What's wrong with being whimsical, natural, open, honest, and very much have like a depth to us? What happened? Why did we allow society to steal our whimsy and our woo? Woo or whimsical nature of things, like the lifestyle, actually saved me. So I don't see the big issue. Carl Jung, which if you're not familiar with him, he's like the father of modern psychology. And he talks about something called the persona. And I believe it comes from the Latin word theater mask. And it's the face you built to be accepted, to be hired, to be kept, to be liked. And that face isn't really fake. It's real. It's part of you. It's just partial. And these parts of you didn't disappear. They just went inside. And this is like the shadow. The shadow isn't your bad stuff. It's anything that got rejected, even the good stuff. So like as a child, if you were told to stop being so intense, you don't learn to hide your anger. You also learn to hide your passion, your depth. Your volume gets turned down. Jung had a word for the work that this is, going back and getting those fragmented parts of yourself. He called it individuation. And all that means is just becoming undivided. Becoming one person again, whole. That's the whole goal. That's what we're doing. In quantum mechanics, there's this idea called superposition. It means before something gets measured, before anybody's watching, a particle exists as every possibility at once. It hasn't picked yet, so it's not one thing. It's everything all at the same time, just sitting there with possibility. And the second somebody observes it, measures it, watches it, it collapses and it locks into one single fixed outcome. You were a field of every possibility, and you got measured relentlessly starting from day one. Every be this, not that, every eyebrow that's been raised at you, or like funny face, or we don't act like that, those were observations, and you adapted to that. You adapted to keep you the version that you felt would keep you safe, loved, well-fed, not casted out. But collapse is not permanent in physics. Particles don't stay locked into one measured state forever just because they were measured once. Collapse is not permanent. You can be reobserved. You are not a fixed outcome, and fields can be remeasured, measured again. But none of this heals anybody just by understanding it. You can understand your childhood with total clarity and the whole thing mapped out, and still have a nervous system that is frozen in time in that moment. So insight is cheap, coherence is earned. And coherence to me just means like your heart rhythm, your breath, your whole holistic bodies working together instead of fighting each other. That exact same word shows up in physics too. Coherence means particles staying in sync with each other instead of falling into disorder. So it's like the same word and same idea underneath it all. I love to combine these. So that's what we're building here. Not just a belief, but a coherence. And those tense muscles that you have that are chronically there, or shallow breathing, racing mind, if your gut clenches when you're around certain things or you think about certain memories, those are addresses of places, like physical addresses where fragmented parts of you they're still living there. And you cannot think your way into a stored physical pattern. You have to signal safety to the body directly so that part of you that's still bracing finally gets permission to put it down. This is why I always talk about and start with regulate. A dysregulated nervous system cannot hear one single word you say to it. You have to open the door before anybody can walk through it. Those of you who have followed me for a while know that I love working with herbs. So a few herbs like lemon balm, lavender, motherwort, skullcap are all nervines that I like. And these herbs, they don't hand you your wholeness back. Nothing outside of you can do that. What they do is lower the static long enough that your own nervous system can find its way back to its baseline. It's not a shortcut. You're just being handed the access to it. And I'm talking to you. You're the one who's always felt like a big dreamer, like you're here for more than what you're doing right now. You kind of feel like you're stuck in a box, prisoner to your own life or your career mostly. You feel like you're here to make a real impact, but also experience more joy in your life. Like there's a purpose in you that hasn't cracked open yet, and you genuinely care about something bigger than your own four walls, the greater good of humanity and yourself and your family, whatever language you want to put on it, And I want you to hear me and walk with me. I want to walk with you through this threshold. And I'm saying this as 12 years deep into my own shadow work. 12 years of doing a lot of this on my own, especially way before I've even decided to try to guide others. And it really shows. It shows in my life that I don't take for granted one single day. I reversed my autoimmune disease, 12 years, no pharmaceuticals. I healed my daughters as well from their autoimmune disease. I found a way back to myself through herbs, nature, breath, joy, writing, showing up and saying things, laughing with my children, homeschooling. I'm the most sure of myself I've ever been in my whole life. And I know a lot of you feel the exact opposite right now. And you ask me, what's even possible? What would I even be good at? I don't even know how to dream anymore. I don't even know if I could ever trust myself. I'm not confident enough. I was there, and I was there for so long. It became my whole personality, and I thought that was the only option. And when you're there, you're likable, you're easy to get along with, you're agreeable. You will have a lot of friends in that version of you because you take up so little room, so little space. You're so fragmented. But the moment you start authentically showing up for yourself, as yourself, pulling your fragments back, putting the mask down, because it was only ever just a partial picture of who you are anyway. Some of those friendships are going to fall off. Not because you did anything wrong, because your resonance changed. And not everything in your old field is built to match your new one. Your energy shapes your environment, and your environment will always reorganize itself around whatever frequency you're actually holding and allowing. And that's the threshold I'm talking about. You don't even have to be spiritual to really understand this idea. It doesn't have to be a spiritual thing. It could just be your actual life not matching your actual self anymore. And when you walk into my field, into my community, that's exactly what I'm here for, to help bring it back to the basics, to help you root back into your body, heal your body, learn natural ways, learn how to shift your mindset without bypassing your body to get there, and learn how to listen to your gut and tend to your heart. And get out of your head long enough to actually live in the rest of your life. We're here to root and to get rich, not just in money, but in every sense of that word. We're here to say it out loud. We're here to write it down. We're here to walk through the fog, through the not knowing, through that place where you can't even name like what you're good at yet. I'm here to help you find it, and I'm here to help you build it. So you don't grow higher by staring at the sky and wishing for it. You grow in height and stability by rooting down first. Down into your roots, into the dark, down into every part of yourself you were ever told to leave behind. It's not regression at all. It's rooting in to become the most stable and sure and certain self that you can be. You were fragmented on purpose by people, circumstances, society that needed you smaller than you actually are, or needed you a good little worker bee. And every single piece of you that got left behind is still waiting to be recovered, rediscovered, and reclaimed. So if you're ready to do this work, I am building a community. It hasn't launched yet, but I am building it. So if you want in it, I have a wait list. It's called Say It Society. I would love, just comment that below if you want to be a part of it. But thank you for joining this week. I'll see y'all next Wednesday.